Welcome everyone to this webinar presented by the MSU Science Festival. My name is Hazel Anderson and I'm the Public Programs Assistant for the festival. This session will introduce you to the MSU Science Festival, as well as telling you why, what, and how you can get involved. So what is the MSU Science Festival? The Michigan State University Science Festival is a free celebration of science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics, also known as STEAM. This festival takes place every year in April on MSU's campus and throughout the state of Michigan with lots of events. We also host virtual and in-person K-12 programs to schools during March and April. This year, 2023, marks our 11th festival. We hope you'll join us in celebrating that. So first of all, why should I be a part of the MSU Science Festival? So there are lots of great reasons, but here's a couple. Being a part of the MSU Science Festival will allow you to inspire curiosity with whoever you're reaching. So whoever comes to your event, you can inspire them to be curious about whatever topic you are presenting or talking about. You can tell the story of your research or topic. And you can engage with your community with new knowledge and impart a new understanding of something that impacts their life or society as a whole. And you can share what you're passionate about with other people, which is always really awesome. And you can encourage excitement around STEAM, which is very important. And you can inform them, visitors or whoever is coming to your event, about the impact of your research or topic. So why does this matter? Why do we do it? And then another great reason is to expose the behind the scenes of STEAM. So how does it happen? How do you do what you do? Or how does your museum run? How does your lab look to, stuff that most people don't get the chance to see? And this is their opportunity. So now that you're possibly convinced as to why you should be involved, let's move to what you can do. So for public programs, we have lots of different event types. We have talks with experts, dazzling demonstrations and performances, expo zone booths, which is like hands-on science, behind the scenes tours and open houses, nights at the museum, statewide astronomy night, science after dark, BioBlitz, STEAM adventures. If you have other ideas that don't fit exactly into these categories, which I'll talk about in a minute, we would love to work with you to make it happen. We're always open to new ideas and new formats, and we're always trying new things, and we'd love to see if you have something that you really want to make happen, we can help you do it. So I just listed off a bunch of titles and names. So what the heck are these things? So I'm going to give you some examples. So for demonstrations, in the past, we've had like chemistry or physics demonstrations, how equipments or tools work. So like lasers that are used to measure trees, an apple picking robot, stuff like that. For talks, like you can talk about anything and everything. Some of the ones we've had in the past are like amazing memory, the power of blood, science of Star Wars, running cars on plants. And these can be done by an individual or a couple people or like a whole panel discussion. For our expo booth events, we've had a bee petting zoo, looking at a pH rainbow, hunting like a hawk, making your own pulsar, what's a watershed, getting people involved in touching like hands-on experiences, building things, testing little experiments, stuff like that. For tours, we've had tours of the bug house, the Beal Garden on campus, the herbarium, the museum vertebrate collection, the observatory, and campus architecture. So for SWAN, which is statewide astronomy night, we've had planetarium shows, an astrophotography workshop, stuff like that. Science After Dark is like talks that take place at breweries or like bars. So we've had the science of beer and other events that take place year-round, like biology on tap, astronomy on tap, and communication on tap. Nights of the museum, we've had a great partnership with the MSU Museum and Broad Art Museum, and they put on events during that day or nighttime. And then lastly, BioBlitz. So Using the iNaturalist app, we've had locations participate like nature centers, parks, preserves, and natural areas. And a full list of all these event types and details of these events are also on our website. So things to keep in mind when you're thinking about what you might want to do is thinking about who is your intended audience. That really can help you tailor what you are trying to do and how you'll do it. How you present something to little kids will differ from how you present to science after dark, which is primarily adults. And how can your presentation or event be done safely? So if you're using chemicals for your chemistry demonstration, how do you make sure that everything's going to be safe and no one catches on fire, et cetera, et cetera? If you're handling biological specimens, how will that be done correctly? And then how can I make my presentation and event accessible? So making sure that, you're using a microphone if you can, making sure that, there's opportunities for people who have physical disabilities to participate, things like that. And we can help you if you have questions or concerns about that. Some other things to consider are what are your goals or what is your takeaway message? What do you want people to leave your event thinking? They're not going to remember everything you tell them or everything you do with them. What is your main message? What do you want them to take away from your event? Oh, plants are really cool, or this insect is really important, things like that. Another thing to consider is how can you get people involved or interested in STEAM? So if you have let's say a citizen science project and you want to talk about that, that's some way that people can get involved even after your science festival event. So if you have a research study or you're doing a tour of a museum, people can come back to that or still participate after the festival. Another thing to consider is how you can tell stories about your topic. People really like to know why you got interested in your topic. Why is it important? What drives you to do what you do? Why should we care about whatever you're talking about? And then another thing to think about is how will you engage with your target audience? This one especially I think about when you're doing talks. It's great if you want to just talk at people for a half hour, but it might be more engaging if you allow them to participate in some way, if that's polling questions or some interactive element to your presentation. Yeah. So now that I've told you what you can do, how can I do it? So for our public programs, we have a proposal on our website, which is linked here, and we can go into further detail about the proposal afterward. But yeah, and I'll talk about it more right now. So, okay, there's this proposal. What do I need to fill out a proposal? So you'll need your name and contact information. And if anyone else is helping you with your presentation or event, their name and contact information, and you need an idea. How can I find more resources and learn more? So on our website, we have a great presenter section with all these program descriptions and a presenter guide, which is really great. There's more tips about planning your programs, promoting your programs, and additional resources, which you can check out at your leisure. Then finally, we really want you to share what inspires you. So here's our call for proposal that's on our website. And of course, you can learn more, sign up for our newsletter, and find us on social media. And our website is www.sciencefestival.msu.edu.